Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow reptiles, to Ask Rep Q&A number 9. For those of you who are new to my channel, this is a segment on my channel that I make every few months where I answer your guys' questions that you ask in comments or in terms of video responses. Video responses to my video always get priority over any questions, so therefore if you submit a video response to this video, it is very highly and very likely that your video response could be included in my next video answering your question. You can ask me any question about religion, sex, anything really. I don't care. It can be the most outlandish, unfunny, unique, bizarre, sexual. I don't care what any. You can ask me any question. But again, video responses always take priority. So, welcome to Ask Rep Q&A number 9. Let's begin and see what you guys have to ask.
My first question is, do you consider yourself an activist? If so, I would really like to hear your definition of activism and what you try to achieve and aspire to when being an activist. And my second question is, have you ever participated in any sort of protest, work stoppage, or picket?
That's an interesting question. Do I consider myself an activist? And I would say yes, I do, but let's first go back in history to Kony 2012. Do you remember Kony 2012? I do. It was a big hyping debacle here on YouTube. Video went viral. People were saying, I'm an activist now by supporting Kony 2012. It was really ridiculous. It turned out to be a whole scam. And not really worth anything. But Kony 2012 is an example of what activism is not. That's the thing. I think a lot of people don't understand what activism strives to do. To me, activism is defined by trying to promote and promote a social, political, economical, or even perhaps environmental change within the world. I think a great example of true activism would be the civil rights movement. If we look back in history, I think that's a great example to look at what activism really was and what they were striving to accomplish with that. You know, with the whole Kony 2012 thing, people just say, I'm an activist now because I'm supporting Kony 2012. No. True activism is taking action and constantly, continuing to participate in your said thing that you want to promote. That's how I would define activism. In terms of your second question, have I ever participated in a march or picket? And the answer is no, I have not. However, I have attended the Gay Pride Parade, although that's not the exact same thing as you were asking, but that's what I have participated in.
What prompted you to start a YouTube channel and start making your own videos?
Loneliness, actually. Yes, loneliness. At the time when I first started my YouTube account in 2007 on my original Repsion account, I didn't have anybody to talk to. I didn't have anybody to voice my feelings to. I had nothing. I had no way to I had no close friends at that time to communicate what I was going through within the church, being bullied. I was conflicted with my religion at the time, Christianity that I was associated with, and I needed an outlet. And my outlet, as I saw, was YouTube, because at that time, when I was 16, I was subscribed to The Amazing Atheist, and I would watch a lot of his videos, and he was an atheist, obviously, and I was a Christian, and I was determined. I remember I was determined that one day that I would make a video response to one of his videos regarding Christianity, and that would somehow change his mind. But in any event, I came to YouTube because I needed an outlet to talk to. And I realized thinking about talking to a camera sounds weird, but ultimately it helped me when I was starting off with my YouTube, because it was an outlet for me to talk about issues that I thought were important at that time, and at that time it was defending Christianity, as stupid as that was. But nonetheless, that's what got me started on YouTube, was my struggles that I was dealing with in my personal life, and I had no outlet, so I chose to go through YouTube to voice that outlet.
Hey Mr. Repsion, it's Mortalvis from YouTube, and I have a question for you. If you could have, do you see yourself having your own talk show on television, kind of like Oprah, I guess? Do you think you can have your own actual show instead of a channel on YouTube?
I'm not sure if being compared to Oprah is exactly a compliment, but nonetheless, no. The answer is no. I would not want my own talk show at all. I think that would be terrible, at least for me. I'm fine with YouTube, because let's face it, if I had my own talk show on TV, I couldn't be myself. I really couldn't. I couldn't say the things that I would want to say. I would have to censor myself, censor the words that I use. I think the only way I could ever see myself having a TV show or a talk show is if it was on some channel that was not censored to where, you know, because TV shows like Oprah or Maury, or is it Maury, I don't know how you say it, those things are so censored and edited. I wouldn't want that for my talk show, or TV show. I would not want that. You know, I'm a very upfront, down-to-earth person. I say what I think, and I know what I want to say. And if it offends people, it offends people. But when you're on TV, you have to be careful because networks won't support you. You can't have a television show if you say certain things which condone or diss other types of practices or things people do. You just have to be so careful when on television, and that's not something I could ever see myself be on. I have been on television in several different commercials that I've done, but that's a different matter. That's not officially having a talk show. So.
Hey, Mr. Epsilon, I just wanted to ask, what is your opinion on being agnostic?
What is my opinion on being an agnostic? There's nothing wrong with it. Agnosticism is a position that I think makes sense to a lot of people, because honestly, I even will say this, I can't prove or disprove that a God exists. And if you want to be an agnostic, kind of, some people like to call it the neutral position. Being agnostic, you just don't know if a God exists or not. And semantically speaking, the word agnosticism is debated among people. Some people will argue that you can't be an agnostic. There's no such thing as agnostic. I disagree. I think there is a position of agnosticism, and I think it's perfectly fine. And I understand people being in that position because, you know, there's so much in the universe. The universe is so big and insane, especially space, that it's a position that makes sense to me. You know, I was a Christian, a theist at one point. Then I converted to deism, and then from deism I went through a very short state of more of agnosticism, and then agnosticism to atheism. So I've been through that line of thinking. So I think there's nothing wrong with agnosticism.
Mr. Repzion, you talk about Christianity a lot in your videos. I was wondering what your views would be on some other religions like Judaism or Islam and the possibly immoral views that those religions hold.
If you actually go further back on my channel, I have spoken about other religions here on my channel. I think the most common religion I talk about is Christianity, but I have a few, I think 1 or 2 videos on Islam. I think I have like 3 on Mormonism. I haven't really discussed a whole lot of other religions other than those main ones, but I think that all religions, with the exception of Buddhism, most all world religions like Christianity, Islam, Mormonism, Jehovah's Witness, on and on and on. I think all of those religions have immoral views on how they view people, because these core religions deal with a divine source, typically some divine book, and in this divine book they have commandments and things and teachings which I believe are immoral. For example, you know, Mormonism is against gay marriage. Christianity is against gay marriage. Islam is against gay marriage. You know, those 3 big religions right there are already against people having equal rights within marriage. And I believe that's immoral. I believe it's wrong. So in regards to the main core religions, Islam, Christianity, and Mormonism, and Jehovah's Witnesses, they all have problems, and I could go into an extensive problems on all their doctrinal problems and teachings, but that's really, I don't really see a point in that. Rather, they're dangerous things, and they have dangerous teachings that people actually believe. And that's the problem. That's the problem with religion as a whole. Again, exceptions to Buddhism, because Buddhism is a really unique religion, in my opinion. Some people won't even call it a religion, but it is one. At least that's how I define it. I have nothing against Buddhism. I guess that's the one religion that I actually have positive thoughts and opinions on. But nonetheless, that's my thoughts. I would recommend, a lot of people ask me questions that have been answered before regarding my thoughts on other religions, and if you go back, I realize I have a lot of videos. I have 600 and almost 700 videos now, but there's a lot of videos that if you guys watch, will be very informative regarding other religions that I've spoken about and other issues and other social issues that I've discussed too.
Dear Mr. Repzion, do you think it's okay for a straight male to be attracted to another male, or a straight female to be attracted to another female, aka man crush or girl crush?
No, absolutely not. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having a man crush or girl crush. In my experience, I've seen males who I would find physically attractive. Now, I have no sexual or romantic interest in them, but I see a man and I say, wow, he's really, really good looking. There's nothing wrong with that. I think everybody has been attracted to at least someone of the same gender at least once. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I know I have, and I know other people who have been too. So there's nothing wrong with having a man crush or a girl crush if you're the same gender, and that does not mean that you're gay either because you find someone physically attractive.
Why do you think that people get angry at other people or hate or just totally disregard, treat disrespectfully, or just total a-holes to someone just because of their religious beliefs?
Well, I, for one, do not associate myself with the category you just listed with a non-believer treating or disrespecting or thinking that someone who has religious beliefs are automatically assholes. I can get relatively hostile towards religious folks, but here's the thing. I'm never going to just be mean to someone who's religious. My family's religious. Everybody in my family is religious on my mom's side. And I'm not going to just disrespect someone just because they believe in a different religion or they believe in religion or are associated with religion. I'm not going to do that. When I get angry, when I get mad, when I attack or appeal hostile towards someone who's religious, it typically is because that they're putting forth their ideology onto other people. They're putting on their religious beliefs. For example, let's just tackle gay marriage. I mean, there's hundreds of Christians who have made videos on YouTube saying why they believe gay marriage is wrong and why a man and a man should not be able to get married and have equal rights because it's not true marriage or not traditional marriage. I have a problem with that. And if a religious person makes a video stating his opinion or his belief and presenting his religious ideology on why he thinks this is wrong when it's not, I have the right to get angry, and I have a right to get hostile, and I have the right to disagree with him and basically make a video response being as aggressive as I can. Granted, I can be very aggressive towards people at times, but it's not without a reason. You see, my reasoning for being aggressive towards religious folks here on YouTube is because of the damaging beliefs and ideologies that they're perpetuating and wanting other people to believe. And that can harm people. And I don't want to see people harmed. I don't want to see people treated like shit because of someone's religious beliefs on, for example, taking the rights of gay marriage away. That's why. I don't believe all atheists hate religious people. I don't hate religious people. I have no resentment towards my religion, my family who's all religious. I care for them. But with that said, again, those religious people who put forth their ideologies, they're going to get criticized, at least by me. And some people may interpret me as being rude or disrespectful to them, but I think the rude and disrespectful person is the person telling someone that it's not their right to get married. That's just my opinion. Anyways, guys, that finishes up Ask Rep Q&A number 9. Feel free to submit a video response down below, and I will most likely include it in my next Ask Rep Q&A number 10. So thank you guys for watching. Video responses always get priority over comments. So that said, my name is Mr. Repsion, also known as Daniel Solzbach. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, the Rep out.